Hello, my name is Jason Stephenson, and I teach high school at Deer Creek. And this coming school year, I will continue to teach creative writing and student council for half day, but for the other half, I will be the secondary curriculum, instructional technology, integration specialist. So I'll be working with high school and middle school teachers. And I was on the standards writing committee for English language arts. And out of all 8 standards, one that I'm a huge fan of is Standard 8, Independent Reading and Writing. So Standard 8 is it's the last of the great 8. Okay, we have 8 overarching standards in English language arts, and we begin with speaking and listening. It seemed like a natural way to begin, and so whenever we were structuring the order of the 8 standards, we thought that the final one, the 8th one, should be independent reading and writing, because that is the end goal for our students. We should be teaching ourselves out of a job so that students can read and write on their own with increasing confidence, with increasing complexity in what they write and in what they read. And that's why we placed it there. It can't necessarily be assessed by a standardized test, and that's fine with me. As a literacy expert, as an English teacher, as a reading teacher, as a writing teacher, whatever it is that your role is in a school, you can assess that, and you can watch your students grow as they're becoming more independent in what they read and what they write. Creating in students a love of reading and a love of writing will help them to be independent readers and independent writers. And if we want an informed, mindful, caring populace, if we want good American citizens, then those people need to be readers and writers. That's the America I want to live in, where everyone loves to read and write, where there's a press conference when an author is dropping a book instead of a press conference when an athlete is getting selected for a new team. That's the America I wish we could have. And Standard 8 is a step in that direction. If our students are going to grow as readers and grow as writers, they need to be given choice in what they read and in what they write. And if they're going to gain increasing independence as readers, as writers, then we can foster that as teachers. As far as reading goes, we need to give up some of our classroom time so that students have time to read what they want to read. It might be a magazine, might be the newest, hottest young adult title, but maybe it's a book that's been sitting in their family's study for years and they've seen their mom or dad read it and they want to try reading that as well. And then when it comes to writing, I worry sometimes about our students being forced to write to only one prompt once in 9 weeks, once a semester, and then that's it for writing. Our students need to be given opportunities for writing on a daily basis. I know that's hard. I know there's lots of curriculum to get through, but even if it's a quick little exit ticket out the door where they're writing about what they've learned, or maybe they're writing a 2-voice poem from perspectives of 2 different characters based on a book that they've recently read. Oh gosh, if my students are going to be writing all the time for different purposes, different audiences, in different genres, then am I going to have to grade all of those pieces of writing? And the answer is no. Maybe they're writing for a partner that they're going to share with after the quick write that you do. Maybe they're going to share out at the end of the week, and you'll get to hear it then. Or maybe you're just walking around the room checking in, and that's how you see some of the writing that they're doing. Maybe you'll do like some teachers I've heard of who will have students turn in their notebooks, and they've written 10 things in the past 2 weeks, something each class day, and then the student folds down the corner of the page they want feedback on, or they put a star something by the piece of writing that they would like their teacher to see. I think it's scary to focus on independent reading and writing because as a teacher we like to control things, and we want to maybe want to have read every single book that our students have read, because otherwise how can we hold them accountable for what they have read? Maybe they're going to lie to us or try to trick us. But I think we've got to move past that and trust our students and give them class time to read so that they want to read more at home. And they can show us what they've read in any number of ways, whether it's conferring with them one-on-one, talking with them about that, or maybe they want to do some sort of creative writing in response to that. You teachers are smart enough to know how story works, and you can probably piece together some of that plot and some of those characters without having read the book. Give yourself some credit. There are many times when I was able to do that in conversations with my students when they were asking, wow, I didn't know you read this book. How'd you know that? And I'd say, well, I haven't, but I know how story works. I know how theme and symbolism and characters work. So I kind of guessed, and I got lucky there. Really, it wasn't luck, right? It was a skill. And I only got there, right, because I'd had all this practice and time reading and writing independently. So it's important that we model that for our students as well, that we're sharing with them our reading lives, our writing lives, so that they see that we're still practitioners of the language arts well into adulthood. That is not just a subject I teach, but these are activities that I am passionate about. Independent reading and writing, it's exciting for students, it's exciting for teachers. It might be a little bit scary for teachers to give up that control, but it's so well worth it. Whenever you see at the end of a school year, a student comes to you and can say, look at all these books that I've read, or man, I didn't think I would ever like reading again, but after your class, I did. You can reach me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is teacherman82, and you can also find me on my blog. I occasionally write there, and that is dcjason.wordpress.com. I've blogged there off and on for a number of years about different things with literacy, so check me out online either of those ways, and I'd love to be in touch if you have questions about this independent reading and writing thing. I do have one blog post in particular about how I kept track of all the different kinds of books that my students had read, because I gave them a genre challenge. So all that's on the blog if you're looking for some tips and tricks on how to incorporate that. Thank you so much for all that you do for students. Thank you for modeling what it is to be a reader and writer, and best wishes as you continue to work with students and getting them to become independent readers and writers.